we're going to talk today about introduction to graphing. So we're going to kind of go over this pretty quick. So the first thing, a lot of this is review for PreCalc. The first thing is how do I tell if -5, 7 is a solution to this equation? Okay. So the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to take this coordinate and plug it in. 2 times -5 plus 3 times 7 equals 18. -10 plus 21 equals 18. Or 11 equals 18. That's not a true statement, so this is not a solution. Okay. Now, we're going to take that same equation, 2x plus 3y equals 18, and we're going to graph it. And we're going to use intercepts, both the x and the y-intercept. So if you remember, if I want the y-intercept, I'm plugging 0 in for x. If I want the x-intercept, I'm plugging 0 in for y. So we're going to come up here, we're going to graph this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so here I'm going to go ahead and look at my x and y intercepts. So I'm going to find my y-intercept. So that really means that this becomes 0. 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 18. Well, that tells me I get to divide by 3, y equals 6. So that gives me the coordinate 0, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and plot a point up there at 0, 6. Now to find my x-intercept, I'm going to plug a 0 in for y. Divide by 2, x equals 9. So that gives me the coordinate 9, 0. I'm going to extend this out, 9, 10. So there's my x-intercept. Now I'm just going to connect those 2 points with a line, and there's my graph. I could have solved this into y equals mx plus b and plotted the y-intercept and then use the slope. But just a refresher on those x and y intercepts. The next thing we're going to look at is the distance formula. So the distance formula between any 2 points is d equals the square root of the quantity x2 minus x1, quantity squared, plus quantity y2 minus y1, quantity squared. That whole thing is going to be square rooted. Okay? So we want to find the distance between the coordinate -2, 2 and 3, -6. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go 3 minus 2 squared plus -6 minus 2 quantity squared. So this gives me 5 squared plus -8 squared. Okay, doing this step by step. 5 squared is 25 plus 64. And that's going to give me the square root of 89. Okay. I'm going to leave it in that form for now. And then we're going to go on and talk about that midpoint. So the midpoint formula is, it's a coordinate. So it's finding the coordinate of that midpoint. So for the x coordinate, it's x1 plus x2 all over 2. For the y coordinate, it's y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Okay? So all this subscript means, and I probably should have clarified this, remind you, is that it just stands for a specific value. So it stands for the x value of coordinate 1, the x value of coordinate 2. Okay? So it says find the midpoint. So I'm going to go -4 plus 2 over 2, comma -2 plus 5 over 2. So that gives me -2 over 2, comma 3 over 2. I'm going to simplify this to be -1 and 3 over 2. You could write this as 1.5, it's fine. The last thing we're going to be talking about is equations for a circle. So if you remember this is quantity x minus h, quantity squared, plus quantity y minus k, quantity squared, equals r squared, where h and k is the coordinate of your center, and r is your radius. So that's what this says right here. So my center is going to be hk, My radius is going to be r. So now we want to write the equation with center of 3, -7 and a radius of 5. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here and I'm going to go x says minus h, so I'm going to go -3 quantity squared plus y minus k, which is a -7 quantity squared equals r squared. Now I know a lot of you would be able to recognize and remember that if it's negative it becomes positive and so on. So I'm going to simplify this. Y plus 7 squared equals 25. And there's my equation. Now, when we're graphing these, we're going to come here and I'm going to put my graph out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9, 10. This is 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 6, 8, 10. Oops, I think I skipped one. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do when I'm graphing this is find my center. So the center is what value is going to make this 0 inside here. Okay, so what plus 5 gives you 0, -5, and +2. And then I need my radius. My radius is equal to the square root of that, so the square root of 16 is 4. So when I come in to graph this, I'm going to plot my center. So I'm going to go -5, +2, so there's my center right there. Now hopefully you have graph paper and you're not doing this freehand. So the next thing is you're going to use your radius. And with this radius, I'm going to go up my radius, down my radius, left my radius, right my radius. So I'm going to go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4 to 4. And you can already see that I've had some error here because I'm hand drawing everything. I'm going to go right 4 and left 4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect those outside points. Mine tends to look like, my common terminology is a squircle. So just, when you have graph paper, it should work out a little bit closer. And that's graphing a circle. So that's kind of our introduction to graphing.